In this part of the lab, we are going to configure the zone-based policy firewall on R3 using CCP. First, we verify the connectivity in our network, so pinging R3 from R1. Then we ping PCC from PCA. All these pings should be successful to verify the connectivity in our network. And then we do the show run on R3 to make sure there is no security commands related to access control. And verify the basic configuration on the router 3. Now we need to configure the enable secret password and HTTP router access prior to starting CCP. So we configure the enable secret, then enable the HTTP server on R3. So IP HTTP server and IP HTTP secure server. Then we need a username and password using the privilege 15. And make sure that the CCP use the local database for authentication. So IP authentication local. Now we go on PCC and start CCP. We put the address of router 3. Admin for the username and Cisco12345 for the password. Click secure connection, OK, discover, just click yes here. And it discovered the device. To see the state of the firewall policies, click on Monitor Security and Firewall Status. Now you see the message coming, which states that there is no zone-based firewall policies configured. Now click Configure Security Firewall and Firewall again. Choose the basic firewall and launch. Just read through the basic firewall configuration and then click Next. Click Inside Trusted for Gigabit Ethernet and Untrusted for 0001. Then click Next. And OK. If you move the slide bar between high, medium, and low security, you can read the description of each level and get familiar with that descriptions. Answer the question in the lab based on these outputs. At the end, move the slide bar to low security and click on the Preview Commands button. Review the commands, click Close, and then click Next. And then click Finish. When the routing traffic configuration window displays, ensure that the checkbox Allow OSPF update come through the firewall is checked and click OK. This window only comes if you have the dynamic routing protocol, which you have with the OSPF. So check that box and OK. Finish, deliver, and OK. Now you receive a message that your firewall configuration has been successfully done. In the rule diagram, locate the access list number 100 and answer the question in the lab. From the R3 CLI, display the running configuration to see the commands put into the router from CCP. If you look at the ACL 100, you notice that the source addresses listed are permitted. The ACL uses permitted statement to identify these addresses as a group so that they can be matched with the class map type inspect, match all CCP invalid source command, and then dropped and logged by the class type inspect CCP invalid source command, which is one of the class types specified for the CCP inspect policy map. Then issue the command show run beginning OSPF to display the running configuration beginning with the line that contains the first occurrence of OSPF. Continue to press enter until you see all the commands in the firewall configuration that are related to OSPF routing protocol update on R3. Now go back to CCP and click Configure Router ACL Firewall Rules. There should be an access list that lists fake source addresses. These were identified in the running configuration output in the previous task. Now click the Configure button, Security Firewall, Firewall Components and Zones to verify the zone configuration. From this point, just follow the lab instruction and answer the question in the lab manual. To verify OSPF routing functionality on R3, issue the command show IP route and check for the OSPF entries. To verify the zone-based firewall functionality, we issue some ping command. First from PCCB ping R3. This ping should be successful. The reason is that the PCC IP address and the R3 gigabit 01 IP address are on the same internal network and the firewall does not come into play. The ping from PCC to R2 is successful as well because ICMP echo replies are allowed by the CCP permit ICMP reply policy. But the ping from R2 to PCC is not successful because the ping was initiated from the outside R2 serial 001 and was blocked. For the same reason, telnet from R2 to R3 is not going to be successful either, and it will time out. Now telnet from internal PCC to external R2 and use the Cisco VTY pass for the password. Then on R3 CLI, do the show policy map type inspect zone pair and sessions. In this way we can inspect the established sessions. Now we go back to CCP again. From the CCP click monitor security and firewall status. Then choose the CCP ZP out self policy from the list of policies. This policy applies to the traffic from the outside zone to the router self zone. Verify active sessions is selected and then the view interval is set to real-time data every 10 seconds. Click the monitor policy to start monitoring traffic from outside the zone to inside the zone. The R2 CLI pinged the R3 serial 001. The ping should fail. And then telnet from R2 CLI to R3 serial 001 interface. It's going to time out as well. Click dropped packets option and observe the graph showing the number of dropped packets resulting from the failed ping and telnet attempts. Your screen should be similar to this, so if you don't get the exact same screen, don't worry about it. Then click on the allowed packets option and observe the graph showing the number of OSPF packets received from router 3. So obviously you need to create some traffic for that. Stop monitoring and answer the question in the lab.